Thank you. I am absolutely honored to be able to be up here on Yom Kippur and say a few words that I feel are important. Special thank you to Rabbi Abram, whose humility and graciousness have been amazing, and to all of you who have been supportive of my journey. Thank you. With that said, I also have to give a trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about God and religion and spirituality, and in a positive light. So just hang with me. I think I have some positive things to say here. So on this sacred day of Yom Kippur, we stand at the crossroads of reflection, accountability, and renewal. Yom Kippur is a time to return to our truest selves, to the core of our humanity, and to our relationship with the divine, whatever that might mean. We come together this season seeking forgiveness for our missteps and for the times we have failed to live up to our highest values. This Day of Atonement offers us a rare opportunity to examine who we are, what we stand for, and how we can align ourselves with the principles of justice, kindness, and truth. Our tradition not only encourages us to do this, it also offers us everything we need to accomplish it. Everything we need to tap into our truest selves and to live our best lives. And I feel our greatest tools for accomplishing these important goals are, in fact, God, religion, and spirituality. But I also know that even saying those words, God, religion, and spirituality, can cause many of us to be completely turned off, to discount them as irrelevant or even harmful. And I understand that, but I also disagree. And I think religion has great value, and I also think it is not what many of us have been taught to believe that it is. Religion is really just a dynamic framework that provides a foundation for values such as compassion, justice, and empathy. It's a system that helps individuals and communities strive towards ethical living and encourages personal development and responsibility towards others. At its best, religion can act as a unifying force that transcends divisions and promotes a sense of belonging. It can be a source of empowerment, creativity, and positive change, not only for individuals and not only those who belong to that particular group, but also for the broader society. Religion typically encompasses rituals, moral codes, these sacred texts, and communal activities that help to guide human behavior and again provide frameworks for understanding the purpose of life, the nature of the world, and humanity's place within it. But religion is not dogmatic. That is a different thing, and that is not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about religion as a framework that helps us create meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe. A system that helps foster ethical behavior and the building of supportive communities. That is what I mean by religion. And yes, God has a role in all of this. But what do we mean when we talk about God? How do we define God? And I don't really know. And I don't really think I'm supposed to know. Honestly. What use would a God be to me if it was so small that I could easily comprehend it? Or in turn, what use would a God be to me that was so large and complicated that I could never access it? In the progressive Jewish perspective, God is often seen as a dynamic, inclusive presence that reflects the diversity of belief and spirituality within the community. And throughout these high holy days, we've spoken of God as Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. Avinu reflects God's immanent nature, the divine presence within the world and within each of us. Malkeinu, on the other hand, speaks to the transcendent aspect of God, beyond human comprehension and definition. And this dual imagery helps us engage with an otherwise unfathomable concept. And if we expand on this idea, we might say that God is a source that helps us access and visualize the best parts of ourselves. God is the lens through which we see the goodness in others. God embodies a love that transcends material desires and the divine energy that unifies all creation. God represents our shared values, our highest aspirations, Adonai Echad, God is one. So from this perspective, God can be understood as the divine source or energy at the core of spirituality. Religion provides the communal framework, offering structures and guidance in cultivating our relationship with something greater than ourselves. Spirituality, then, is the personal, intimate experience of that divine connection. But in a practical sense, again, what do we mean by spirituality? It's a term that is often used, yet not always clearly defined, and perhaps even rejected as unnecessary. But again, I respectfully disagree. And I believe that spirituality is crucial because it addresses fundamental human needs. It provides individuals with a sense of meaning, purpose, and connection that transcends the material aspects of life. In a world that often prioritizes external achievements and tangible success, spirituality encourages us to explore deeper questions about existence, relationships, and our inner lives. Through practices such as prayer, meditation, or contemplation, spirituality allows people to find meaning in both the joys and the challenges of life. It offers a way to connect with something greater than ourselves, whether that is a divine presence, a universal truth, or a shared human experience. This sense of purpose becomes especially valuable in times of uncertainty or hardship, providing perspective and framing life's events within a broader, more helpful context. Spiritual practices also play a role in fostering emotional resilience and mental well-being. Meditation, mindfulness, and prayer can and do reduce stress and anxiety, offering moments of calm in an otherwise chaotic world. Moreover, spirituality encourages qualities like forgiveness, gratitude, and compassion, which promote emotional healing and helps individuals navigate difficult emotions or trauma with balance and hope. So at its core, spirituality also encourages self-reflection, inviting individuals to examine their inner lives, motivations, and behavior. And this introspection promotes personal growth, helping people align their actions with their core beliefs and moral principles. In doing so, individuals often find greater fulfillment and authenticity, living in harmony with their true selves rather than conforming to societal pressures or external expectations. And spirituality opens the door to awe and wonder, encouraging individuals to connect with the beauty and the mystery of life. Whether through nature, art, or sacred rituals, spiritual experiences invite us to step beyond the everyday and appreciate life from a broader, more grateful perspective. And this often leads to a sense of reverence and gratitude for the world around us, all good things. So in essence, spirituality offers a pathway to inner peace, a strong moral compass, meaningful relationships, and the strength to navigate life's challenges. By engaging in these practices, individuals can find deeper purpose, resilience, and connection to the world around them. It enriches life and offers both solace and inspiration. And we are blessed to be involved with a tradition that offers all of this and more. But what does spirituality have to do with God or religion? Not much. At least not in the way those terms have been presented to us. But we've been lied to. We've been manipulated, and we have had something precious stolen from us. And now, more than ever, it's time to reclaim the words religion and God from those who have used them in ways that contradict the very essence of what these concepts are meant to represent. Throughout history and in recent years, we have witnessed how certain political forces have co-opted the language of religion and God to advance agendas that are often antithetical to the values we hold dear as Jews and as progressive people of faith. Terms like God and religion have been wielded to justify intolerance, exclusion, and violence. In the name of religion, some have marginalized the vulnerable, denied the rights of minorities, and promoted division instead of unity. But here, in this space, on this holiest of days, I ask, whose God is that? Is that the God of compassion that we encounter in our prayers? Is that the God who commands us to care for the orphan, the widow, and the stranger in our midst? Is this the God who demands justice for all, not just for those who look or think or speak like us? We know from our tradition that God is the God of compassion and justice. The Torah, which we read year after year, reminds us that we were once slaves in Egypt, that we know the heart of the stranger, and therefore we are obligated to work for liberation and dignity of all people. The God of Judaism is not a God of exclusion. The God of Judaism is the God of radical inclusion. We are called to love our neighbor as ourselves, to pursue justice, and to walk humbly with our God. And these values are not partisan. They are universal. They belong to all of humanity and all of creation. Yet in today's world, some have claimed a monopoly on religious language, twisting it to serve agendas of power and control. But the truth is, the language of faith, the language of God, belongs to us. As progressives, we can no longer afford to cede these powerful terms to those who misuse them. We must reclaim religion and God as forces for good in the world, as sources of healing, love, and justice. And we can reclaim religion as a space where human dignity is uplifted, where diversity is celebrated, where love is greater than hate, and where justice prevails over oppression. We can reclaim God as the source of all that is good, all that is just, all that is compassionate and kind. God does not belong to any political party or ideology, but to every soul yearning for meaning, for purpose, and for connection. And to reclaim these terms, we must first become comfortable using them ourselves. We must not shy away from speaking of God, of prayer, and of faith as foundational to our work in the world. Whether we see God as a personal deity, as a force of love and justice, or as this ultimate mystery of the universe, these concepts offer a deep well of strength, wisdom, and moral clarity. And religion is not a weapon to be used to control others, nor is God an instrument to prop up oppressive systems. Instead, religion can and should be a tool for liberation. It's the voice of the prophets crying out for justice, the echo of Miriam's song as she led our people to freedom. It's the reminder that all humans are created B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God, with inherent dignity and worth. Each of us with inherent dignity and worth. So today, on Yom Kippur, as we reflect on our personal atonement, let's also think collectively. How can we as progressives, as Jews, and as people of conscience reclaim the language of faith in order to build a world rooted in justice and compassion? And we do this by being unapologetic about the values that we hold sacred: equality, inclusion, human dignity, and justice for all. We do this by engaging in the public square, not just as activists or as voters, but as people of faith. We do this by invoking the name of God when we speak out against injustice, when we demand an end to racism, sexism, and homophobia, when we stand with the poor, the marginalized, and the oppressed. In the Talmud, it is written, "Great is study, for it leads to action." We do not engage in religious reflection simply to think deep thoughts. We do it to change the world. We fast, we pray, and we seek forgiveness today so that tomorrow we can begin the work of healing, mending, and repairing our very broken world. So let's remember that the God of the ignorant, the God that is used to divide and exclude, is not the God of our tradition. Our God is the God of love, of justice, and of mercy. And we are all called to make that God manifest in our world. That's our job. So this Yom Kippur, may we all commit ourselves in one way or another to this sacred task. May we take back the words religion and God and spirituality, not for power, but for peace, not for division, but for unity, and not for exclusion, but for love. Gamar Chatima Tova, May you be sealed in the book of life for a year of justice, compassion, and peace.